Hi guys, I'm in my next book review and it's on Marked by PC and Christine Cast. It's first of the House of Night novels. It was published in 2007, so now there are 8 books out. If you've read the books, then you'll know how amazing these books are. If you haven't, I'll read you the synopsis. When 16-year-old Zoe is marked by the tracker, she knows her old life is over. Now she has to leave her friends and family to join the House of Night school, where there's only one subject Zoe needs to study, Vampire 101. Of course, there's always a catch, and this one's nice and simple. If you fail, you die. Now, at the beginning, Zoe and Kayla are talking. Kayla is babbling about Zoe's almost boyfriend, Heath. And then Zoe gets marked and Kayla kind of freaks out, which you think would be Zoe really, which is kind of weird. Then she goes home and she really wants her mother's sympathy. Her mother hasn't been the same with her since she married Phil 3 years ago. Phil is the leaders of the people of faith, and he doesn't believe in the whole vampire thing. Phil and Zoe don't really like each other. And when Phil actually gets back, he's on about ringing a counsellor, which is really random. So she sneaks out of the house and goes to her gran's. Now her gran is a Gigua woman, and I think that's sort of like a medicine woman, or a type of witch. They're very close to Earth, and they have a lot of really cool legends and stuff like that. And her gran and Zoe have really come as a unit for the past 3 years. When she gets to her gran's, she can't find her, so she's looking around for her, and she falls and bangs her head. Then she meets Nyx, who is the goddess of the vampires, which I think is really cool that they actually brought a goddess for the vampires into it. And Nyx basically tells her that she's going to be her eyes and ears, which makes her really, really special. So one thing you should know that when they get marked, it's like a little crescent moon, and it's not filled in. It only gets filled in when they change into a full vampire. But when Zoe wakes up, her mark is filled in, and everybody's kind of obsessed about why her mark is filled in. And later in the book we also find out that that she's can control the 5 elements, which hardly any vampires can do in the first place. So she's doubly special. When she wakes up from falling, she is in the hospital wing in the House of Night. Her grandmother is singing to her. And when she wakes up, her grandmother's kind of just like saying, "No, don't do that to me again," and stuff. Then she meets Neferet, who becomes her personal tutor. Neferet is kind of like Neferet's character is kind of like the mother hen. I really like Neferet's character. When she's going to a dorm, Neferet kind of has to run off to sort something out, so she has to find a bench to sit on. So on her way there, she sees Aphrodite and Eric from a distance. Now Aphrodite is trying to push herself on Eric to give him a blowjob, and Eric's kind of trying to push her off. At this point, it kind of makes me feel like Aphrodite doesn't have any self-respect. Especially because they're doing it in a public place as well. And then Eric looks up and sees her and she's about to run off and he shouts, "No." This is weird. Then Nefret returns and takes her a long way around to the dorm so she can see the whole building of the school, which Zoe thinks is really, really cool. Then she goes to the dorm and meets Aphrodite properly, and then she finds out that Aphrodite is the bitchiest person she's ever met. Then Aphrodite takes her up to her dorm where she meets Stevie Ray. Now when we meet Stevie Ray, she opens the door, and there's a look between her and Aphrodite. Stevie Ray looks really scared, and later we find out that because she's Aphrodite is the leader of the Dark Daughters, they have certain rituals and they use a thing called refrigerators, which is basically one of the fledglings that they take blood from, and Stevie Ray has done this once before, so this is kind of why they're like this, I suppose you could say. Then Stevie Ray introduces her to Damien, Erin and Shawnee. Damien's kind of the really clever one. He always comes up with really long words. Erin and Shawnee are kind of like twins separated at birth. They're very, very the same. They're addicted to shoes, addicted to clothes, addicted to shopping, really. As the book goes on, all the relationship with all the people kind of form themselves. She hates Aphrodite. Aphrodite invites her to a meeting for the Dark Daughters, where Zoe gets tricked into drinking blood from a fledgling called Elliot, and this really freaks her out, so she runs off and Eric follows her. Her and Eric kind of connect, and they get together at the end of the book. Heath comes into it twice. He comes into it in the middle when Eric is chasing her out of the building because she's just drank Elliot's blood. I think with the blood thing, she's more freaked out because she liked it. She could have drank the whole thing, which kind of makes it weird again because everyone, it's obviously they're gonna drink it, but it's just doesn't have a certain taste, and it doesn't taste nice, it doesn't taste horrible. And he comes at the end of the book where there's a lot of spirits that Aphrodite has kind of conjured up, and they kind of get unleashed and cause a lot of havoc, and Zoe stops it, and then she gets made leader of the Dark Daughters, and Aphrodite kind of gets kicked out, and everyone just kind of abandons her. So yeah, you should definitely read Mark. Some of the praise for the House of Night series is totally unputdownable, fast-paced, funny and exciting, well-written, entertaining, and has an exciting original take on the vampire genre. If you are a vampire fan, then this is a must. If you're just kind of getting into the vampire genre, then I really do suggest you should read it. If you have read Mark, then please comment below and tell me what you thought and who's your favourite character.